And is over here kicking back. We're going to try this for a second attempt. Today she is working on. What are you working on today? Look at the camera. What we got going?
Stabilizing handle material.
Stabilizing handle material. Now, you've got some stuff that you're doing in cactus juice, which I'm assuming is this stuff right here.
Yes, it is.
And what are you going to be doing with it?
So I am actually going to be going ahead, pulling that out of the cactus juice resin. I'm actually pulling up the video that this has on here so I can see the comments as well. But what the goal is today is I'm going to be pulling that out of the cactus juice resin, putting it into the aluminum foil and putting it into the smoker so we can go ahead and set up the material.
Okay.
This has already been vacuumed. It has already had the whole process of the actual stabilizing. Now it's time to cure the material.
Okay, so after this, what else are you going to show people?
So the next step, I'll be kind of going back and forth, kind of adding on this stuff as it is in the smoker. I don't do the actual smoking of the wood. I use the heating element in it. That way it's outside, it's in a safer area, just because no worries about catching anything on fire. Now, after I get that in the smoker, what I'm going to be showing you guys is grabbing some of the stuff that has already been stabilized and cured. I'm going to be taking them to the grinder, cleaning off the excess resin, and then going to be putting them into resin blocks.
Very cool. Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, it's a great time to do so. Cheyenne, we've got commenting on, so
Sounds good.
there we go. I'm going to go forge some spike knives.
Which, depending on how far we go, you guys might be taking a peek at that as well. Thing is, I have the window or the doors open on each side of our building. That way, the air passes through. We can't do AC down here, especially with the porch going on right in the other room. We kind of fighting a losing battle a little bit. So I wanted that airflow. And I do have a few done. Now this is what I kind of call my my scrap cactus juice resin. Any of the buckets that start getting too low on being able to actually utilize on its own, I dump it all together. It has reds, it has greens, it has purples, and a blue, and actually it turned into almost like a wine purple or almost like grape soda, which I'm okay with it. Each one is its own individual piece. You want to wrap it in aluminum foil and keep them separated away from the others, because once they do cure it, you do take the chance and anything touching can solidify together and you'd be having to break apart a giant mass, and you don't want that. Hi Rita, hi Amir. And this is kind of an experiment because I have not done burl with this. This is actually my first grouping of it. What you're hearing in the background is actually the power hammer. This is what I'm excited about because it's not just pearl that I did. I also did deer leg bone, which I can show you guys here in a minute. What a high carbon blade I just finished out actually. So Cynthia, I am getting everything ready. These have been setting in package resin. This is the final part of the process of the stabilizing process. And I am getting these ready to be put into a smoker, which I use the heating element. I don't actually smoke the wood or the handle material, but making knife handle material. Whitetailing. This is white-tailed lakewood. The only downfall of having a nice breeze, especially in this warm weather. Or I haven't changed my gloves because they hurt. Which thankfully this stuff it does wash away with soap and water, but if you have cuts like I do from the grinder, it kind of hurts. You always want to wear gloves, just kind of protecting your skin a little bit because this stuff, if it's able to go into that, you don't really want it kind of getting all over you. I know I saw it, but I'm not saying it out loud because I'm not giving them attention.
You got plenty of trolls.
Oh yeah. To me, you just keep moving forward. You don't let the other people or who are kind of down saying like you don't let those bother you. Keep moving forward. You just keep doing what you do. It's one of those. We don't do these videos for the attention or anything. We do it for the education for you guys. We're not gatekeepers in what we do. If there's any questions about what we are doing, feel free to ask. That includes the stabilizing, it includes the forging, bushcraft, any of that stuff. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask.
You need water?
Yes, please. Also, it did turn into a white color.
Oh, that's cool.
I did one of my large whitetail crowns, and it has the almost the red wine stain across it and everything.
Cool.
Honestly, that one might need to be a saber. A wine saber.
Sure.
And be sure to like and subscribe, guys. Like I said, we do this for the education. We do it for fun. We like to include people in on our fun. We do what we love. Did you grab the other aluminum foil? Because I only have 2 other pieces, and I think I have more pieces. made it look like a faucet.
Oh, cool.
I'm excited. You guys are kind of experiencing the experimenting. It's a way of us to document our progress of what we do. It's also where our fans and our, pretty much we consider our fans and everything, we consider them family too. It's one of those, you're not alone. Make sure you like and subscribe. We also have a class coming up. We're going to Turtle Island Preserve, and we are going to be teaching knife making classes with Eustace on Forged and Fire with Destiny and myself. We are going to be teaching how to forge copper. We're going to teach how to forge a horseshoe knife, and I believe Roman spikes. There's a wide array of things. That looks like a sunflower. That's pretty good. And we do have links in the description, not only to Turtle Island Preserve, but also we have a link to the Forge Memory page, which has all of our current family members through Forge Memory. You're able to see several of our makers, then our actual direct contact is through the Facebook page. If there's something that you see that you're interested in, if there's items that you're kind of curious about, you're more than welcome to just hop on there. You can even just shoot us a message and everything. Hi Nathan. With the purple, what I like about organic material when you're stabilizing it is no matter what the color that you do, the material will actually choose what it wants to be, and that kind of made it look like it was fossilized. And from experience, don't expect your handle material to look identical to what it looks like when you first pull it out of the tubes. Once it is set, whatever is going to actually stay in the material will set up into the microscopic grain structure. And most of it will actually, the excess will leak out, which is what I will show you guys what I had to grind off on the burl that I did, I believe, 2 days ago. Wonky banding going on. That is trippy. Check that out. Like I said, it's kind of like a white color, I guess. There's purples, there's blues, greens, red. All dumped into one. So what we get is what we get. You never know. But that's how life is. You never know what's going to be thrown at you. Expect the unexpected. Go with it. Be prepared. If it's good, then utilize that news. If it's bad, become versatile. Whatever is thrown at you, you can work past. Whether it be life in general, just a little inconvenience or something at you. Hi, Orlando. And I just buy the cheap crap because I go through so much aluminum foil, you cannot believe it. Alright, that's check out one of the previous videos, I did show you guys what temperature I set this to, how long to let it sit. Dustin, this is our last piece. Whenever I do go to take the smoker outside, we'll have them go in there with you while I get that set up, and then I'll meet you guys in there.
Okay, sounds good. Are you going to set it up outside, or are you going to set it up in?
I'm going to set it up outside with how hot it is. I don't need to be adding any more.
Okay, I'm adding enough heat while I'm forging.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and definitely tell us it's the other aluminum foil. The one you don't like. And this stuff does not go solid or cure. It does not cure with heat or with just air temperature and everything. It has to be at a certain heat for a long period of time. So the animal curry you guys just watched me wrap up into the pants right here that is pointed down at, that will have to sit at 220 degrees or about for up minimum of 2 hours and up to 6 hours or even overnight.
In this heat?
I was going to say in this heat it should be okay at the 2 hour mark. So I am going to, if you guys have any questions, ask. Like I said, we're teaching classes in Turtle Island. This September is 6th and 7th. Their website's on our description at Turtle Island. And then we have Forge of Memory website up on there. And you'll see we're going to have an e-commerce page where we'll actually have items for sale. And if there's any items you're interested in that we do not have posted, you can get a hold of us directly through our Facebook link on the description as well. If you haven't already, like and subscribe.
Well, tell you what, I've got it out there. It's plugged in. Why don't we just follow you?
Okay.
It'll be a little more
Interactive, and they get to see. And these are like forbidden baked potatoes. I forgot I folded myself up. That way I can see I flip it around.
Okay.
That way, because of the sun, you're actually able to see like I said, I'm not actually smoking the material. I am utilizing the heating element because I did but because of experience, I did almost catch a toaster oven on fire in our shop. So we're doing this route. It does have some type of soot. Do not ever try to cure the cactus juice resin in the oven that you are using to cook food. It does have residual chemicals, and you do not want that in your food. So we're going to set it to 220.
Or if you have not subscribed yet, it's a great time to do so. So you're setting this at what, 220?
Yes, 220.
And for how long?
For at least 2 hours.
Now, you think it'll take longer than that with this one?
Honestly, with the heat and everything, I think it'll do just fine. But I do set the timer for at least 4 hours. That way, it's not suddenly dropping in temperature right as it hits 2 hour mark, and if I don't have time to hurry up, it's not going to hurt it being in the heating element longer than what it does to take to set it up.
Okay.
So whenever it goes up to the temperature, stays at it, and then suddenly drops, if it's not done curing, you just ruined your material.
Okay. Well, let's go back on in. It's cooler.
It is cooler out.
It is cooler in here.
I know, it felt so good having that cross freeze though.
Okay, so what are you doing next?
Gotta go to the grinder.
Okay, so going to the grinder
I need
next.
to wash my hands first though, because I do have cactus juice resin on.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera in here. You go ahead and get ready. Cheyenne will be working on some handle material here. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of work here at the forge, which I'm actually pouring some pewter ingots. Smashed up pewter. Up to 10, won't take very long. Then I'm going to go ahead and pour that. Then I'm going to be bringing a couple spikes over to forge into spike knives real quick. I got an order for like 15 pieces I need to do. 13 spike knives and 2 tomahawks, I think. So Cheyenne is getting everything ready here, and do you want to talk to him a little bit about your process beforehand, or do you just want to go into it?
Going straight into it.
She's going straight into the process. So while she's getting set up, what's up?
Are you starting to get loose on top? Just look like it.
Alright guys, we're going to come over here. Let me turn this around.
What we're doing is going to be removing
we going to next?
So I am going to go over to that table and measure out to see if I need to cut anything before.
All right, we'll go ahead and follow you. Go ahead. If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, great time to do so. I'm going to play with the power hammer, and Cheyenne will lead here.
Sorry, I was playing with alligator bone, those two was. See if I can see this. My phone works now that I hit my nose. Grinder. So the only one I have to cut down is that one just by a little. Part of it's about 1/8 of an inch, the other part's about 3/8. Not much. From one station to the other. You guys are just going on a trip with me. Ah! I'm gonna walk into the Waldo while carrying you guys. that part goes in my scrap bucket. Alright. So I'm going to flip you guys around. There we go. I'll take you guys kind of behind the scenes. There we go. And I realized I left my silicone mold in there, so hold on a second, guys. So what we're doing is these are going to be here. And realize I have to take you guys back over there because I have to hot glue these down to the bottom. So we're going on a trip again, guys. I'm just taking you guys everywhere now. Might as well, right? So now I know this is also a grapevine that's going to be stabilized actually in the next batch. I realized afterwards I made the mistake because this is the toaster oven I did start in whenever I started making the handle material. Well, the second one because I caught the other one on fire, but these both have white cords, and I plugged in the toaster oven and waited about half an hour trying to figure out what was wrong with my hot glue gun because it was not getting hot. I learned my lesson very, very fast after half an hour that you need to pay attention to what cord you're plugging in. So once that gets hot enough, then we'll go ahead. The reason why I glued these down is the just the epoxy resin will actually cause even the stabilized wood to float up to the top, and then you're losing out on material that's in the resin. So Trent and Ty taught me a trick. If you glue them, it will at least keep it from floating most of the way, I guess. Not Trent and Ty. James Davis. Like I said, plug Trent and Ty in this video too. Might as well, right? He's an amazing artist. You're still not hot. You're sticky. There we go. Where it's going to be sticking down onto your silicone mold, you hot glue on and stick it on. Yes, I go through a lot of hot glue. Thankfully, it's not as much resin, and the hot glue is cheaper than the resin. Pretty much, I go through about as much as that as my aluminum foil. And if these do proceed to float, I just make up a little rig and make sure they're submerged.
Hello from India. We get a lot of viewers from India.
India, Indonesia, wasn't Spain one of the big ones last time?
You know, it just kind of depends upon what time of the day, I think. And a lot of that has to do with who's tuning in and what time of day it is, or evening, rather, for some of those residents.
I love it. Actually, so guys, I learned a cool trick, even if it's not resin casting trick. So if you actually melt the glue stick that you're about to put in, it will actually stick to the back of the other one, and you won't have to keep pushing trying to get it into the grip. So that's for all types of hot glue crafts and everything. You sound worn out.
Getting there.
I realized I had to drag it back over here because I forgot to hot glue these already.
Did you what?
I didn't hot glue them.
Oh, did you? You got what's your? Or rather, are you going to put something into pressure after you do your pour?
After I do my pour, I will.
Guys, be sure to like and subscribe.
And also check out the links in our description. Like I said in the beginning of the video, we are going to be teaching forging classes in Turtle Island Preserve with Robbie Bowman. He was on the show as well. Well, Dustin, myself, and Dustin, Robbie, and myself, if I can actually speak, we're all on Forged in Fire. And we try to utilize what we were given to teach others the art. And forging is not only about making money from knives and everything. It's about the connections that you make. It's about the knowledge, the patience, because as you're forging, you're not only making something beautiful, but you're also learning stuff about yourself. You find different ways in managing different obstacles and everything. You can be angry, come home from work, and just life is pissing you off and everything. You can go into your shop or get your forge out, grab a piece of metal that other people would think and deem as trash, and you can beat it, you can get angry at it and everything, and you're able to turn out something good. And if you think about it, you can use that process in a lot of aspects of life. I find this one's going to be ornery whenever I go to pull the resin. Just maybe. I may have added enough for that. Never go in straight lines. Make sure you always kind of go in a messy pattern, because then it'll stick better. At least it does for me. is the opposite way down because there are entrances right there, less chances of bubbles. And if there are bubbles, I can fix it. See, that one did not stick. Which happens, but we'll just keep moving forward. And sometimes things don't go as we think. That's where overcoming obstacles is a good asset to have. Carry these guys over here, and I will grab you. Ooh, really? Yes, it is a very rusty setup. We keep it kind of bare bones. That way, if in case something does mess up, we can fix it. Can you guys see? Okay, I'm actually going to move you guys closer so you can be part of the process. Now here in a minute, while we are waiting, because I will have to put this resin in the vacuum chamber to degas the resin, I'll take you in there so you can kind of watch dust them while we're waiting. And but no, with what we do, we can't have it look pretty, especially in the production room, because we're always messy in here. And this is a 2-to-1 ratio. What color am I going to do? You know what? I'm going to do that turquoise. Possibly mix up another few colors. think so. We're gonna do that. Where's this one that we had out? Ounces of that. And whatever I have extra, I usually will proceed to kind of make some resin scales or spacer material. It's fun. 8 ounces of this. Forgot they put tape on these little drums. That's right. Do the whole thing. Alrighty. That's a pretty color we're gonna do. Actually, I'm going to try though is I think I'm gonna add some green to it because that does not look turquoise. I want it turquoise. So we're gonna add more. I am okay with that color. So the next step, air out of there. Now we're going back to the pressure pot or vacuum chamber. They are two different tools. Alrighty, so I have that set to about -20. I have to let that sit for about 10 minutes. So now we are going to be going back and front. You guys are going to watch Dustin to try and keep your engine moving. Dustin, I have to wait 10 minutes.
You gotta wait 10 minutes.
My resin's degassing.
Okay.
So can they watch you for about 10 minutes?
Why don't you bring them over here?
Alrighty. I feel like I'm forcing one of our friends, just like, hey, come over here, we want to play with this.
Do me a favor. Turn that camera around so I see comments.
Alrighty.
And I'll talk to people while I'm doing stuff here. What's everybody doing? I wear prescription sunglasses inside.
Hold on a second.
All right.
I made it a little dusty.
We're coming an hour and 20 minutes. Most of these videos have been running about an hour. This is running over. We've got about an hour and a half to go before we're done today. We're going to see how this goes. This video is mostly about Cheyenne's work today, but this is Axle Main Forge of Memory. And if you're interested in learning about forging, you can check out Forge of Memory Family. And that link is in the description. Forge of Memory was started by Robbie Bowman at Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And it's kind of home base, and we still love going there and visiting and saying hi to Robbie and Tina, everybody. We also do some work at Turtle Island. You might recognize the name Turtle Island Preserve from Mountain Men on the History Channel, uses convicts. We teach it down there September 6th and 7th. And there's a link to the Turtle Island Preserve in the description. Please check that out. Now, guys, what I'm doing right now, this is something that a lot of blacksmiths do, and I'm not going to get to this year. I'm not going to get to go do many demos. Cheyenne will probably be down at the Pumpkin Patch in October on Sundays. Elizabeth will be down at Kin Money Log Cabin Village. And right now, I'm building some stock, and I'm making a lot of railroad spike knives, horseshoe knives, tomahawks, just cool stuff on the affordable side that people can buy at these locations. Now, if you want to check us out, there's a Facebook link in the description, and you can check us out at Axon Main Forge Memory. Okay. So now that I've got those basically shaped down, it only takes a couple heats using the power hammer. What I like to do is put a twist in those handles.
We have another Indonesia.
Valley, Indonesia. Seth Mack, how's it going? I think that may be the first hello from Bali.
Hey, we had one from Italy.
All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. Once more, be sure to subscribe to the channel.
If you guys can, let us know where you're from.
I'm gonna fill that tub with spike knives.
Okay.
Maybe not today, but it will happen. Grab 2 more spikes. I thought I had some over here already. All right, guys. So I got 2 heating up in the fork, which means I need to get 2 more on deck. And this should make about a dozen I've done so far.
We're from Central Illinois.
Yeah, we are from Central Illinois here. And how did you learn this? Okay, so I started doing this when I was like 10 years old. So it's been a couple decades ago. And about when I was 12, I actually started making stuff. I burnt myself in the campfire for a couple years. And if you watch Forged in Fire, season 4, episode 2, deer horn knives that I was on, I say I'll never forget the words my dad told me. That, damn it, boy, quit playing the damn campfire. So I learned a lot by going to rendezvous. My family did frontier reenactment. And I read some books. This was all pre-internet. And what I did was I did a lot of trial and error. And then I started doing TV. And got into the ABS, American Bladesmith Society, taught college level blacksmithing, a lot of fun stuff like that.
You're an ABS apprentice.
What's that?
You're an ABS apprentice.
Yeah, took Cheyenne on as an apprentice. I've taken 2 apprentices on that both went to Forged in Fire. We got 1 champion, and it's a pretty cool thing. It really is. We're coming up on that hour-and-a-half mark. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's a great time to do so. Interesting, we've dropped to 46, now 39 viewers. Sometimes we get up higher, so I'm wondering if there's a cutoff at different times. All right, guys. So these spikes are coming up to temp. I know it's just about time for Cheyenne to take over again and start doing her thing. And what I'm going to do, we're going to come back over to the power hammer. I'm going to start drawing out a couple more spikes. So each one of these spikes is going to make me, on wholesale, it's going to make me $30, $40, okay? So today, if I make 20 of them, I mean $600 to $800. It's not bad. So I'm okay with that. Now, am I going to sell it right now? No, I'm actually saving these back. I'll still have to grind them, quench them, clean them up, put them in sheets, but these will all be going to different shows that we advertise at. And we're mostly doing the shows to advertise for our shop and for Turtle Island Reserve. Link in the description. We're advertising for Forge and Memory Family. Link in the description. We're advertising for Axon Maine Forge and Memory. Facebook link in the description. And what we probably should be putting a link in the description for, Cheyenne, is Iron Mountain Metalcraft. Home base, Robbie Bowman, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Link is not in the description, but let me get some permission to do that. Absolutely. I mean, I don't even work out anymore. This is just what I do. I'm kind of out of shape, so I should probably work out again.
All right, am I kidnapping them now?
Cheyenne says she's ready, and she's prettier than I am. You guys probably want to see her on camera more than me, so.
Actually, we have all 10 of our fingers.
Side boob.
Side boob, really? Leave it to Dustin. Alright, so I am going to bring you guys back here because we are now going to pour the handle material. Well, pour the resin. But yeah, both of us have all 10 of our fingers. And I'll go back through and add more as we go, but this way I avoid the bubbles in the material. We're definitely going to need more resin. So I'll actually just do these 4. So Dustin, I am actually going to need to make another batch. So yes, Jim, I am using a 2-to-1 ratio. And honestly, making a Minecraft villager sword would be awesome. No, Seth, we don't need the crazy licensing or the certs. We have our business license, and we own our buildings outright here. And we have contracts and everything else that whenever people do come to forge the burrow knife, it kind of saves our butt and theirs. So we're actually going to turn this one, utilize the box as a bracing. And what I use is a vacuum chamber. You can use a pressure pot. Some people do one or the other. I like to use the vacuum chamber because I also do the stabilizing of the wood handle material. I do burl, bone, fossils, all sorts of stuff, so it's across the board. I am going to be looking at a pressure pot, but right now I'm still working with my vacuum chamber, and I honestly love it. So with us not having that much there, I am actually going to pour this in here. And I guess 4 more. So what we did was, it was 16 plus 8, so that would be 24 ounces of resin. No. Yeah. 24. So now we get to pour even more. Vacuum chambers are amazing. Now there is a brand, it's Bach or something like that. I do highly recommend. No, they are not one of our sponsors. That would be awesome, but no, we don't. But I get my cactus juice resin from Turntex, and then I utilize my Bach, I think, and that's who we go through. To me, out of quality and price range, it's amazing. And they're very durable. What I'm doing right now is just quickly popping the surface bubbles and breaking the tension. Well, surface tension. You can also use a heat gun, a hair dryer, just some type of heat source. Just go over it quickly and pop those bubbles. And as you guys can tell, sometimes the hot glue does not work and your pieces float. So I will have to make a rig for that little turd. Before these set up, which I utilize. This one doesn't cure for, I think, 3 to 5 days. Longer working period. It's, I think, 90 minutes work time for each one. So yeah, now I get to make more. And then you get to play with Dustin again. So going to do 16 ounces again here. And I'm not worried about the color difference because I'm actually going to pour a different color for these guys. And then 8 ounces here. Dump those together. And yes, if you watch our videos, they're very, very unhinged. And it's because we're not faking. We're just us. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes you have to be yourselves. Not really have to be, but you can. You be genuine and actually just be your own self. No one can call you a poser. No one can be naysayers or any of that. Dustin, I think I'm going to mix this charcoal and the pink. Ooh, hold up. I had to pour more. I overfilled 4 with 24 ounces.
Oh.
Yeah. I was excited.
Oh, you're doing all hybrid.
I'm doing all hybrid.
Okay, see, I thought that you were just doing resin.
No, I'm doing hybrid.
So cool.
I'm doing red.
So what are you putting in to stabilize now? Or to pressure?
Stabilized.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So I am actually going to be putting some grapevine in there and a few other items. Because I did not have time. This was kind of a spur of the moment video. I'm going to be looking into stabilizing more deer leg bone and cow leg bone. I have more in our storage unit. We kind of have that off site for now. And then we're going to strip. We're just going to dump the entire thing. Why not? I'm thinking more red. And it's just kind of playing around with your colors. And like I said, color theory sometimes throws you for a loop. Because my cactus juice resin, whenever I start getting low, I throw all of it together. And there was an emerald green, there was a royal purple, there was a blood red and everything else, and somehow it turned into this wine purple, and it's really freaking pretty. edit our videos and make us feel like we're perfect. No one's perfect. You can claim you are. Even the professionals make mistakes, and we work through them. See, I like that color a lot better. That's pretty. Now guess what? I get to put this back into the vacuum chamber. Woohoo! So I'm gonna drag you guys along again. So it's almost like you're hanging out with a cousin that demands your attention. Or your mom tells you to hang out with your little cousin. We're gonna drag it along either way. If I flip this around, or actually I'll just bring you up so you guys can actually see it too. It's bubbling. So now I'm gonna drag you back over to Dustin. Why not? Sorry if I'm moving fast, making y'all dizzy. Dustin, they saw me pour, they saw the setting up. Tag, you're it.
I'm in.
Yep.
Are you going to show them how you put your stuff into pressurize?
I have resin in the vacuum chamber.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to do one more knife here. Put that handle up, and then we're going to call it.
You guys have been hanging out with us for almost 2 hours.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, coming down to the last chance to on this video. We've got other videos on builds, on reviews, on first impression cutting videos, firearm reviews, all kinds of fun stuff.
I forgot, I told him I was going to show him the new knife.
Be sure to subscribe. Cheyenne's got one that she's been working on right here.
And that's some of the diamond stabilized deer leg bone. And all those are completely stabilized where the natural chucking is. And arrowhead.
Cheyenne, something I do want to do
Yes.
real quick. I see your knife. Now we've talked about trying this, and we'll probably do it off camera just in case it fails. 2.5 inch piece of bronze.
Okay.
We're going to try doing it for a hot punch.
Why don't we do 2 3/4?
Minimum 2.5.
Yes.
3 inches is going to be big for something that size.
Oh yeah. We have fun with what we do.
So we're gonna try it off camera just in case things don't go.
Well, not just that, safety reasons.
just in case things don't go. And we're going to try hot punching bronze. And then if it works, we'll come back and do a video on it.
Get
Oh,
it.
come on, you son of a bitch. All right, guys. All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up for the day. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Check out the links in the comment section, or no, I'm sorry, in the description. Links in the description for Turtle Island Preserve, Forge Your Memory family, and our Facebook page for Axon Main Forge Your Memory. We got more videos coming up. You guys have a great one. We'll catch you in a few.